All right. Hello, good morning, good evening, and good night. I hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic as always, because in today's video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going over MPW, Medical Properties Trust, and we're going to be debunking this little dividend cut here. This is a stock that has been on the verge of a dividend cut for a little while now. They've been paying out a 29-cent dividend for the past like 6 to 7 quarters, as you could see. And they recently, in September 13th, which was their ex-dividend date, they just cut their dividend to 15 cents. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over that. I'm going to go over why I actually think that's good for the company. Also, some bullish signs about their tenants, some major concerns that were going on for MPW that are hopefully going to be not necessarily completely cleared up, but reassured, just to hope that everything will be okay with the company, and we will get into this video. So if that does sound good, please do remember to subscribe to our channel. We have 2,567 subscribers. I think we gained over like 25-30 subscribers last night, so that's pretty fantastic. The last video did pretty well, as you can see here, 8 out of 10, about 4 minutes of the average watch time, so that is fantastic. But with that being said, I hope you guys do enjoy. Like this video if you do like it. Only like it if you like it. You know what I'm saying? We like honesty and truth here. So what we're doing is we're telling the truth on MPW. So MPW, for you guys that aren't aware, they are roughly a $4 billion market cap, 3.77. And their earnings per share over the past year has taken a pretty massive hit. Look at this, down to 11 cents. And they are paying out a forward dividend of about $1.02. But the thing is, that dividend has been taken pretty much a massive cut, because this should be down to about 60 cents right now, due to the fact that they did actually have a dividend cut. So for those of you that don't know, MPW did have a dividend cut. This was on September 13th, as you can see here, and it was down to 15 cents, roughly cut exactly in half, because they were paying a dividend of about 29 cents all the way up until this point. And many people in the months of December, March, and June, we're all wondering, when is this dividend going to be cut? And it is going to be cut in September. And that's just due to the fact that MPW has been going through a couple financial troubles, just in the fact that they weren't being paid from some of their tenants, which we're going to go over here. And that is obviously a major thing. And as well, they are a REIT. And so with interest rates rising, they could potentially have to pay more on their fixed debt. But MPW is actually kind of good. They don't really have too much fixed debt, which is really good. But they will have to potentially pay a bit more, which is going to eat into their profits. And then in that case, if they aren't able to cover the dividend, that is why they had to cut it. So just going into their financials here, what I want to do is go over their quarterly results, just to show you guys that MPW has been trending downward over the past little while. Their net income has been going down, and this is a stock that I do own. I just want to put that out there. I'm going to show you exactly how much I own and my yield on cost and everything like that now. But as you can see, they've been going through some trouble. Before, they were growing pretty good, up to $222,000 in quarterly net income. But as you can see, over the past 3 quarters, they've been taking hits, pretty good hits here. They were down 140 million in the 2022 quarter, the last quarter of 2022, and then in the most previous quarter, they were down 42 million. So slowly getting back to profitability, but that's due to the fact that some of their tenants aren't necessarily paying, but we're going to get to that as well. They currently have about $19.5 billion in total assets and about $11 billion in total liabilities. So if we do that little conversion right there, that's about $8.5 billion that they're kind of spread off there. And this, to keep in mind, is a just under $4 billion company. So I love to see that they have about double the assets to the current market cap. That is great. Now, as well, going into their quarterly results here, you can see their net cash provided by operation has obviously taken a big hit as well, down to $76 million for the last quarter. They are actually pulling out of their investments. I do want to go over, because I did find an article here where it says that they are reinvesting still, but on Yahoo Finance, it says that they are pulling out here about 391 million. That could be the sale of their Australian hospital firm, or they did own an Australian hospital brand, but I'm pretty sure they are trying to get out of Australia. But we'll see if I have that in this video. And then their free cash flow is the same as their net operating income. So with their quarterly finances being debunked here, they're at a 6 $6.30 price point right here. Now going to my portfolio, you can see that I actually do own MPW. Where is this bad boy? It is right up here. So MPW, I do own 80 shares at a cost basis of roughly $6, or this is their current price, my bad. I have a cost basis of about $10.55. If I could actually find that for you guys, I'm going in here. So you can see my average price right here is about $10.55. And my yield on cost is now about $5.69. As you can see, I'm way below the current dividend yield, which is now hovering at 9.12. And overall, my position, I'm down negative 37%. So you could see a big drop on that position. And what am I looking to do now that I know that they cut their dividend? What I do think is I do think they're going to be more sustainable for the long term with this dividend cut. At current levels, they were definitely not able to pay those dividends. As you can see, the dividend was coming out. This is money coming out of their pocket every single quarter, $173 million. They don't have that covered in their free cash flow. They cannot afford to pay that dividend. Even with the last quarter, which wasn't as bad, the second last quarter, they still weren't able to cover that. So we can expect this to be cut in half. And so that's going to be about, we're going to say 180 million going towards that dividend, which is going to be close to that free cash flow, which I really like. That means they're not going to be pulling out of their cash reserves in order to pay that dividend, which would be on their balance sheet here. Their total cash about $235 million. So that is a good sign, meaning they are going to be more sustainable for the long term. Now, they are the second largest non-government owner of hospitals in the world, so they are a big company. It's not like this company, sure, they do have a market cap of just under $4 billion, but they're not necessarily a small company. They have $19 billion in assets. Do I think they're going anywhere anytime soon? I don't think so. This is a company that's been around on the stock market since about 2005. They've been through a 2008 recession, and just going to their historical data and their dividend, they did actually do this before, a dividend cut when kind of the US and the overall market went into a recession. So as you can see here, they built up their dividend all the way to 27 cents and then cut it down to 20 cents. So with this dividend cut here, you can see they built it up over that time, and leading into 2023, they just cut their dividend once again. So this could mean that going forward, they would look to increase this dividend from that 15-cent marker, but that will be soon to be decided. So now digging into the details, I'm just on one of the websites here. It looks like the Motley Fool, something like that. They say Medical Properties Trust, and this is in respects to Prospect Medical, has completed a $350 million of new financing with third-party lenders to fund the hospital's operations and capitalize in managed care business for continued growth. They say the fund will enable Prospect to pay its $250 million asset-backed revolving credit facility in full, meaning they will be able to pay back. Prospect Medical will be able to pay $250 million back to MPW, Medical Properties Trust. And this was a big kind of like stepping stone for MPW because Prospect Medical has not been doing well financially, and they haven't been able to pay. This is one of the tenants that they're having trouble with. They weren't able to pay their income back to Medical Properties Trust, and that's why we were seeing pretty poor results in their previous quarters. But now with the fact that they will potentially be paying, and my screen just went absolutely black there, but we're going to continue on here, that is a great sign for MPW. They also did a couple other things, which are a $513 million investment into 6 leased hospitals in California. They also did $457 million investment in Connecticut real estate. So as you can see, they're still investing heavy, even with these interest rates currently. Hopefully that is a good thing. And then it says loans of $264 million, accrued rent and interest of $56 million, and $50 million convertible loan to the managed care business. So they're obviously taking on a lot of debt currently, but they do have the assets to back themselves. And I do think over the long term that MPW will be okay. I know it said here, going on to the Yahoo Finance page, they kind of went into some depth here on, the missed earnings, how they were at 48 cents in the previous quarter, and then went down actually negative to, I think it was about negative 5 cents. But I do think MPW is actually approaching a pretty decent price point at $6.30. One thing is I don't just want to buy a stock like MPW, and it just continued to creep down and down and down. As you can see over the past year or so, it's had periods where it's had significant fall downs all the way from, $13 down to $7, where I picked up some more shares, and then all the way back up to my average price point at about $10.55. And as you can tell here, it's creeped down once again to the $6.30 price point. MPW is a stock that in the long run has actually performed pretty well, going back to, let's say, 2008 when they had that crash. And it seems to have crashed quite a bit in that period, going down from 11 all the way down to roughly $3. So it is a stock, when there is a recession, when there is a downturn, it is prone to massive price swings. But if you do think they will be okay in the long term, if you're willing to stick it out, this could potentially be a good buying opportunity at the price of $6.30. I'm not saying that you should buy. I'm not saying that I'm necessarily going to buy. I may, but it all depends on how they perform in the future. Will I think they will be around in the future? Yes, I do. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. I think at the current price point, I do think they are an undervalued company. And when they do become profitable, if they do become profitable, but with their tenants hopefully paying back and getting good investor relations with them, I think they will be a company to hold for the long term and could potentially continue this appreciation that they once had. So those are kind of my views on MPW, and why I do think the dividend cut that they did announce was actually a great thing for the company long term. They're not going to be able to have to fork out their earnings per share so much, and instead reinvest that back into the company to then grow that dividend back up to this marker and be a long-term appreciator, not just a big dividend pusher. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video and learned a little bit more about MPW, not necessarily what they did, but their current situation and how things look to hopefully be improving. And this may be a good sign for MPW going forward. What I will do is, if you guys do want me to invest back into MPW, I have about $100 in dividends that I received over the past month, and I actually have no problem investing in MPW at this price. So let me know if you guys want to see that. I could totally do that for you. With that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys do take care. Subscribe if you haven't yet done so. We're a growing page on YouTube, as I always say. We got 2,567 subscribers, which is wild to say out loud, because just even 90 days ago, we were at that 100 subscriber mark. We didn't even have 4 digits. So I want to say thank you to everyone who subscribed and made this channel what it is. Thank you. I hope you guys did enjoy this video on Medical Properties Trust, and I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys take care and have a great Friday.